She's back with another Q&A. I hope you guys have been doing good. I know we're approaching the holiday season. I'm just going to do a video response to a question that I received. I do get a lot of questions. Sometimes I just respond via video, and most of the time I just respond in an email, but I just felt like since I haven't done one in such a long time that this would actually be beneficial to someone, because this one comes up quite a bit. So this one comes from a lovely lady. Her name is Crystal. So she says, "Dear Tibetan Princess," and that is my name on the forums of Breast Nexus, in case any of you are new to my channel. I have my thread on Breast Nexus Tibetan Princesses program, or thread, and it's basically, you're just gonna see my journey with bovine ovarian supplement and the little tweaks that I've done along the way. So she writes, "I'm really hoping you may be able to give me some advice as I'm feeling completely overwhelmed. I'm a 36-year-old female and I've never had any breasts. I suspect that I had some hormone issue during puberty, as they never really grew past small nubs. I'm a 36 AAA, a broad shoulder but zero bust, so I hate my body." So you probably feel like it's not feminine, and I understand that, because when I was in a AAA, that was, having broad shoulders myself. I completely understand. You don't really feel feminine. So being a 36-year-old female, I get ya. And there is a way to fix that. I mean, you can't fix your broad shoulders, but there's a way to grow into your female form to where it's complementary. So, okay, you're 130 pounds, you're 5'7", certainly not underweight, and I would like to lose weight. My period started at 15, but very light and very irregular, so I was just put on contraceptive pill to try to kickstart them, but unfortunately made them disappear altogether. The pill has also no effect on my breasts. And I can relate, because when I was married at 18 and a half, I was also put on a birth control. I was put on Orthonovum 777, which is like a really old medium dose. Excuse my little dog, he's a little terror. He's a little teacup. He's so small, but he's so antisocial. So he's barking at the TV. We're just going to have to ignore him. But anyways, it had no effect on me, period. And I was 18 years old, so I thought that it was me. Maybe there was something wrong with me. But in reality, it's actually the fact that they're synthetic, and most bodies are not going to recognize it as real hormones. So when they hit the receptors, it's going to be a Frankenstein effect, because it's a Franken hormone. It's not ideal for the body. So once it parks itself into the receptor sites, you might retain water swelling. So for some females, it's like they grew, but really it's just water retention, and they feel like that throughout the whole time that they're on the pill. And then when they get off of it, they find themselves sterile. They lose the water weight, so they lose their so-called breasts or whatever. But it's really not a real hormone. So if anything, if they grow, it's from the progestogen or the progesterone-like effect. It's hardly ever the estrogenic compound in the contraceptive pill. So that's not a surprise. Fertility struggles. I'm incredibly blessed now to have 3 wonderful children, a 6-year-old, a 2-year-old twins. Congratulations. My breasts grew a little during pregnancy and a lot in the early days of breastfeeding, maybe to an A or a B cup. I love the feeling I had something there, and to be honest, would be happy if I just grew to an A cup. Now I stopped breastfeeding and they have completely shriveled to nothing again, and it's actually making me incredibly low and self-conscious. And I feel rather desperate to find a way to grow my breasts. Okay, so what most likely happened is, with all those hormones peaking during your pregnancy, you were experiencing some changes. A lot of times when the milk comes in, it fills up the breast. So once the milk dries up, your prolactin levels return to normal, hopefully. maybe they didn't. Maybe you still have some higher prolactin levels and really low estrogen and progesterone, and you might even have low testosterone, which once your milk dries up, your fat stores are not there. I mean, if you were a AAA before, most likely, I mean, it's possible that you did grow just a tad bit, but then when the milk came in, it took away your fat stores, and replacing it with milk, you're going to find out that it's like you're starting over again. So that's probably what happened. I've tried doctors in the past who just seem a bit disinterested in my concerns and just tell me to go on contraceptive pill to get your hormones going. I haven't had a period in over 6 years, and there are concerns about osteoporosis due to a long time with low estrogen levels. Okay, I definitely understand that because I'm a thyroid case, and so I naturally have low hormones. But since my ovaries do work, I don't really have a problem with my cycles. But I do have a problem with estrogen, and my nails, you know, depending on how my thyroid's doing, they get really, really, really brittle. They get weird shape, like a flattened shape instead of like a nice curvy almond, you know, shape on the bed of the nail. So it just changes the whole look of the nail. They're very weak, they're flimsy, they break easily. They, you know, yeah, they're like malleable. I can't even hold like false nails or acrylics. They just break off. So, yes, estrogen, metabolism, and calcium, they're hand in hand. So you probably do have really low estrogen. Recent hormone tests showed slightly low T3 hormone, but doctors were unconcerned, and she said hormones are generally fine, just low estrogen, and I'm not sure how accurate the tests are. And it's true, depending on what stage you're in your cycle. If you're mid-cycle, your hormones kind of have to correspond to the cycle of that time of the month. So it just depends. Your doctor's going to have to go over your results, and you have to hope that they understand the results. They understand that you are either peaking, your hormones are supposed to be peaking, or you're at the very beginning of your cycle when you took the test, and they're supposed to have a range reference where they're supposed to explain all this stuff to you, whether or not this is, you know, at an adequate amount of hormones that your body's producing for that time being. So if they're not going through that reference range with you and talking about that, then I would probably get another doctor. Just saying. So, firstly, do you think BO could work for me? Even if I got no breast tissue at the moment, I'm not underweight. I've been reading your program on Breast Nexus. To be honest, I feel completely overwhelmed and confused by it all. You use so many different herbs and pills and techniques. I don't know where to start trying the program for myself. Any advice on a simple program to where to get started? It would be so appreciated. I've never, it says, I've tried 6 months of herbs without any effects. I'm really hoping something out there will work. I really don't want surgery. Really hope to hear back from you. Any simple advice? Appreciated much. Thanks. Okay, so, and then you write low body temps, trying to increase it with kelp and L-tyrosine, and not much effect yet. Okay, I've, having the problems that I've had, thyroid issues, going through menopause at 29 before I started my program, and being the fact that when you have low hormones across the board, especially low progesterone levels, your body temps are actually going to be low as well. So that's a correlation, and when I took L-tyrosine, it wasn't helping me much at all, so I can relate to that. Kelp is good for everything, but it's not going to be enough. So my program is really confusing because I think my BO program starts on page 29 of my thread. So in the very beginning, I tried the herbs, and so yes, I tried so many things, and then I was tweaking along the way when I was trying my BO program. So that is also a little confusing because you have to find out what works for you. And I just found out that just keeping it simple and being patient and consistent was basically all I needed to do. So everyone's different, and everyone's going to need certain herbs. And finding out which ones those are, it's going to be hard. But the best thing you can do is take your tests, and do them routinely, like every 3 to 4 months if you can. At least get a test for the beginning. That way you can go based off of that, like what you're going to include in your program. Do I think the BO can work for you? I think it can. However, you're going to need some kind of HGH releaser. I'm going to stop the video right here, and I'm going to continue in the next one.